and the first three have been amazing. Really, really cool guests covering topics like paddle and the events industry and the psychology of sales. And today we've got Gareth and Scott from Open Doors, Open Mind here. I will let them do their introduction in a few minutes, because just to start, just while you guys are joining, and please do pop any comments in the comments. Any questions, anything you want to say, I'll give you a shout out. But yeah, this is my opportunity to talk about the events that I'm doing, and myself and Gareth and Scott are doing an event on Monday, which we will come to in a second. But a couple of events, well, actually there's loads of events, but I'm going to go through them really quickly. So I do pub networking, so AKA Woco Loco. So there's an event in London on the 16th of April, and one in Berkshire, Wokingham in Berkshire, where it all began, on the 22nd of April. And then there's paddle networking that I do. So we had an amazing event last night, the first evening event that we've ever done. We might do more, maybe not, we'll see. But there is an event on the 2nd in Bristol. There's one on the 7th in Reading. There's one on the 9th in Southampton. There's one on the 15th in Fleet. And the 22nd in Tunbridge Wells in Kent. So we are getting everywhere. We are very soon opening another one in St Albans, and then we're going to start going a little bit further up north, which is super exciting. But yeah, today we're here to talk about mental health, and we've got these guys here today. And as I said, we've got an event on Monday that we're hosting together. These guys are going to be actually leading the event. It's a free event. It's not a traditional networking event like I usually do. It's an opportunity for these guys to talk about, you know, their journey and why they're running Open Doors, Open Mind. But we've got something to do before we really, you know, kick off with all of the information. We've got a disclaimer. So Gareth, Scott, I don't know which one of you want to do this, but this is really important for these sensitive topics that we're doing, even though we tried to keep these, you know, quite lighthearted and fun, and it will be. But, you know, there's some sensitive subjects that we're going to be covering today. So I'll let you take it away with this disclaimer.
Yeah, so myself and Scott will be going a bit into our backstory and things we've been through. So if anybody's triggered by the stories, reach out to our website, and we'll help you with some support.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. So, I mean, that leads us perfectly on to, you know, what you guys have. Well, we're gonna cover everything today. We've only got 30 minutes. We can't go into all the deepest, darkest details, but tell everyone what you do, but also tell them, please, about your background, because there's an amazing story there for both of you. I don't know if one of you wants to do it, then the other, or you sort of flip and flop between the two of you. Completely up to you.
Okay, so Open Doors, Open Minds was founded by myself. I've got complex PTSD through lots of different things through my job, or my original job, before I set up the Open Doors, Open Minds, the charity. It all kind of started, it went a little bit wrong for me in lockdown, towards the beginning of lockdown, and I was in denial, and being a typical man, I didn't want to talk about it. I just shut down in complete denial and had a mental health breakdown. Tried to reach out for help. Realised there wasn't much help for someone like myself that can't read and write, didn't know who to talk to, didn't know where to go. So I started doing blogs and podcasting, and it grew and grew and grew. For me helping people, therapists coming on board, life coaches, hypnotists, all that kind of stuff, therapy, float tanks, football, you name it. We had a list of things that we were helping people with, and it grew and grew and grew to the point I needed more people. And then Gareth come on board, and we pushed it into another direction, and it's now a charity within itself. And yeah, we are the missing gap, as people call it, from when you hit your crisis point, and to where we get you back up on your feet and show you where to go, give you the tools, give you a toolbox of how to basically get back into the swing of life and get you the right people to support you around you. That's probably the main part of Open Doors, is literally being able to show you how through our journey and what we've learned and got the right people in the right places now to get you back up on your feet. We'll stand behind you till you're ready enough and always be there till you're quite capable of doing it by yourself. That's probably the main part, wouldn't you say?
That's it.
Yeah.
So we're quite lucky when we're helping people, as much as, although we know what the book says, we've actually lived it. So when we're talking to you about anxiety in the darkest times and the things that you're going through, we actually understand it. We've been there.
Yeah, that is the bit. Obviously, in the industry that we both come from, it was a very violent world. It was male dominant world, and realise if we'd had conversations when we bumped into each other at certain points, rather than keep it all to ourselves, we would probably have not got as damaged along the way, because what we hadn't realised is everybody in our industry had experienced violence and bits and pieces like that, and we're going through something. There was a study that was done by Brighton University, that 47% of frontline, like we was in the security industry, had PTSD. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody was doing anything about it, and the system wasn't geared up for it. That's probably the easiest way to explain that. The system now is trying to play catch up with a lot of things through COVID, the businesses beforehand, the taboo subjects that nobody was willing to talk about. And obviously I started banging the drum to kind of show that you can talk, and we are proof that you can hit rock bottom and get your way back up to the top again.
That's one of the reasons that we started doing the corporate packages for companies to provide external mental health support. Because what we found is, for a lot of industries, is when you should come forward, it's like in the security, if you come forward with mental health, they take your license away. So now you've lost your income. They don't need that. Whereas if the companies get external like us, we keep that confidential. So the employers get a report from us each month to say that X amount of people have reached out. These are the common areas. You may want to address it.
And guide them into like what procedures you can put in place, because this is the most popular thing that's coming back to us, whether it's the end of, like when you've got schedules and demands has to be done by this time and that time. Certain pressures within all of the corporate world. Obviously, a lot of people have deadlines and expectations to be met, and that's where it's putting a lot of pressure. What we've realised, even the people that are the mental health first aiders within the business have still got their own job to do as well, and who is supporting them when they're living in a world where other people are coming to them with their problems. It becomes, when we found it ourselves, this is why we have to have so many procedures in place, that you end up feeling like you're being drowned by everybody else's problem. So you have to have a way of what I call defragging, because otherwise you end up drowning. And the first thing that we teach everybody is you have to put your own oxygen mask on first, because you're no good to anybody else unless you're looking after yourself. And that's what we teach the businesses, even at the high end to the bottom end. Everybody's got a pressure of some way. Like the top guy has the pressure of keeping the business going, and the ones at the bottom have the pressure of trying to deliver the product or whatever the service is. That's what we kind of realized.
So we came across the concept of doing this because we know a lot of people in the trades, so construction and carpenters, electricians, that they're going through it, but because most of them are self-employed.
Yeah.
They can't go to anybody and say that they've got an issue, because they need to continue to work. They don't need a financial burden. You can't expect somebody on site to be the mental health first aider, rotate a scaffolder, just told you that he's got issues and thinking about killing himself, and then letting him go back to work.
So, I mean, the chances of people that work in the trade watching this live right now is probably very, very, very small.
Well, you'd assume they would work.
However, but there could be some site managers on here that that do have more of an office job. But and of course, this LinkedIn Live will live on my LinkedIn forever. I put it on YouTube as well, so it will be there for people to be able to access. But as an individual, can you let us know the best way to contact you guys? So I've put your website, a link to your website on the screen that's there at the moment. But what would be those steps if it was me, the individual, that needed your help?
Yeah, we've
that
tried
was
to make
going
our
through
website
something.
very simple. So you go onto our website, you've got 2 tabs: get help, give help.
It's
Yeah.
as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. You go into the get help, just gives your contact details to get in touch with us. We'll get in touch with you.
And then what does that look like? So how would you then get in touch with them?
So we'll start off with replying to an email with our contact details, find out how they want to be contacted.
Okay.
Because there's some people, they want to have that face-to-face. Other people might want to do it through LinkedIn, through WhatsApp. They might want to have that conversation that way.
And a lot of people will probably be doing it in secret, right?
Yeah.
They'll be doing it. They don't want it to be while they're at home or at work or so it might even be while they're on a car journey or something like that, where they can talk to you in confidence.
One of the packages that we actually offer is it's called 3 a.m. Friend, and that is for individuals.
Yeah.
And we come up with that because that's when we found that people are in their dark times. Generally between 1 and 4 o'clock, that's when people reach out to us.
So you've got a team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So talk to me about your team and the people that are there supporting at those sort of ungodly to many hours.
I head up that. I've got PTSD, so I'm awake most nights because that's when my trauma time is. So during lockdown, my wife got ill, and I now watch my wife all night, making sure she's okay. That was the final stone in my bucket.
Oh my Lord.
So answering the phone at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm quite sprightly because I'm awake.
Yeah.
We have I say we call him a client because it's probably the easiest way to put it. We have a client that rings him every now and then, like early hours. And what it is knowing somebody is there. So when Gareth answers the phone to him, it's like, yep, you're still there. And that's all he needed in that moment, to know that there was somebody there if he needs it. Obviously slipping to a certain point and realize, hang on, I'm by myself and need to reach out. And it's just that little, even just picking up the phone and having that one. But what we've also realized, doing what we do, we need more volunteers to obviously do it. We're now getting more and more phone calls. So like my job started off in the sense of people would reach out through social media, through the websites, bits and pieces of that, and I would respond. So when they're in crisis, so one weekend I did from Reading to Manchester, Manchester to Ipswich, Ipswich to Selsey, Selsey to Newbury, Newbury to Chester, Chester back to Reading. And that was helping, getting them the support, getting things in places as they were thinking, and some of them were doing or about to do certain things that they wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of mine at the very beginning, before we got more of a team around us. The team's amazing that we're getting now. We're building, we've got grant writers, we've got bid writers, we've got volunteers, we've got a board, we've got all these different people coming into play now. And what I realized when I started this out by myself, I was trying to be everything. And one of the main things I could realize was it was pushing my mental health in the wrong direction even further by trying to be all these things to all people. And it's great bringing the mental health first aider, the responder, the man that's trying to keep the charity going, trying to be the man that answers the phone, be a dad. I have 3 teenage boys that I have full time to try and do that, shopping, trying to deal with my complex PTSD. It just got too much. And obviously the team around us now, it allowed me to have basically breathe for 2 minutes and teach myself again. Everything we teach is about putting your own oxygen mask on first.
Of course.
I wasn't taking my own advice and doing my own procedures.
And also, Scott, I mean, presumably when you're dealing with somebody that's going through something like that, you don't want to leave them. You don't want to say, oh, sorry, mate, I need to go and see someone, the other side of the country. You want to be there and give as much support as possible. It's not something that can be rushed. And if they are
one of the things that we've really been working on is expanding our network. So we as individuals, we concentrate on the home counties.
Okay.
But outside of that, we've teamed up with other charities to do similar sort of things. We'll take the phone calls and we'll take it, but we'll create that connection until they're comfortable with the people that we've put them with.
Got it.
So we don't just say, "Oh, we're not in your area, speak to them." We still deal with it, and we create the relationship with the next person along until they're comfortable.
Perfect. So there's lots of ways in which people can get involved to volunteer for you, or with you. And of course, donations. Like if you go on the website, there is a very clear donation page. Please, if anybody is able to do that, please do. You've got an event coming up, which again we'll talk about in a bit, but that's an opportunity to sort of fundraise as well. But look, I've got a network of 25,000 people on here. How can we as a collective help you guys thrive and grow? Because again, you've come from jobs, like paid salaried jobs, and now you are doing this, and it's so hard, and the charity sector is so tough. And you've got, and we're not going to go into huge amounts of detail about Bruce today, but you've got your therapy dog, Bruce, who is a big boy and he needs a lot of food, right? But there's a lot to pay for to just get by day to day. So how can we help you?
So you can support Bruce. So for the work that he's doing for Open Doors, if you go onto the website, there's literally a support Bruce section. You pay £5 a month, so that goes to help keeping Bruce. So that's if you're an animal lover and that's your string. It's £5 a month. So you just go on and sign up for that.
Is what we worked out.
So that's like a coffee a month, and that's helping support Bruce.
It is nowadays. It used to be a pint, didn't it? But now it's a coffee.
You could also, we've got the one-time donations that you can make on the website. So you might want to not sign up to something, you can make a donation. You can do that on the website. We've got regular givers on the website again, so you can literally go on and you can choose from a number of different ranges of what you would like to sponsor us with every month. Failing that, we're looking for speaking opportunities, getting to offices, corporates, so we could come along and help them with their mental health by talking to them, raising awareness, things to look out for. That sort of
mental
thing.
Health first aid courses. So we put that on. We also can be the business's mental health first aid. So we can show you, make the mental health awareness. So we do mental health awareness courses. We do mental health first aid courses. We do safeguarding courses. We can deliver the whole thing. But what we've realized is even getting the mental health first aiders into place, we can be external, that are also supporting the mental health first aiders, and the people that want to stay anonymous can come to us and we can help and put procedures into place and show the businesses that is another way.
I think that's one of the areas where a number of companies are confused with the role of an in-house mental health first aider.
Agreed.
What they should be doing is observing. So get to know their team. Generally, you're looking at team leaders being mental health first aid. Get to know your team. Get to know the signs. Look out for things. So then you can refer them to us externally. It's like, you might want to reach out and have a word with Open Doors.
Yeah. So that works in two ways.
You don't know whether they have or they haven't.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that being able to be anonymous is so important. I mean, I don't know how much time you spend on Facebook, but recently, well, it's probably been ages now, but recently they put this opportunity to post something on there on like a local page or something as an anonymous person. And so many people, in fact, some groups have banned people from doing it because people are just putting ridiculous stuff on there. But I think people's choice to be able to be anonymous is so important. And I think certainly in a corporate environment, I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't talk to the business and let them know my,
it's not even corporate. At the end of the day, say me and Scott come from the security background, and we worked, alongside each other for about 25 years. It's not until we got together through Open Doors that we realised that we've both been through something. We could have dealt with it like 5 years earlier. But we didn't.
No, absolutely. It's tough, isn't it? But I think you're right in that there's that mixed messaging between mental health first aiders within corporates and actually using a third party. And as you say, you don't know whether they've used them or not. You'd like to think that they do.
It's very much, do they want to tick a box or do they actually actively care about their stuff?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
So if I was a team leader, team manager, or an HR professional or whatever, and I wanted to get you in to talk to our workforce in some way, shape or form, and that comes in, as you say, many different ways.
Yep.
Again, what's the best way to contact you guys?
Again, it's all through the website. Literally, you go onto our website, you've got the 2 tabs, give help.
And if they want to sort of check you out first, follow you guys on social. So you're more active, you're most active on Instagram, you're fairly active on here. And your content is amazing. It's full of obviously content from you guys, but some of the people that you work with. And that's a great way. I mean, I always champion social media.
YouTube channel as well. So we've got some of our podcasts on there.
Brilliant.
We've been a bit quiet lately because we've been so busy. We haven't had time to sit in the studio, but we're starting to get that back again.
Awesome.
We do radio on Monday as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Tell us about that. So
the radio we do is live from 2 to 3. It goes out on 8 radio stations, but the main one is Swindon 105.5. So you can either come on as a guest if you want to come on and talk about corporate stuff, bits and pieces like that. We've got lots of different connections. We are in a lot of networks, as in business networks. We get about to try and support and show the businesses, that we are here. So if you want to,
and that's how I found you. Gareth came to one of mine a few weeks ago, and I was like, get in front of my wider network immediately. I need you. So that's how that happened, isn't it? So carry on. So radio.
Our biggest one that we're just about to start up again is the TikTok lives. So we do a morning check-in.
Brilliant.
So we'll be doing that one. That worked really, really well. We were helping people up and down the country, and they could, if they wanted to stay anonymous. And that was the key part we realized is whether it's corporate, whether it's normal day-to-day life, some people, until they are ready to step forward, and some aren't, some are never ready, and they've always want to stay in it because it's a personal thing that you're going through and you don't realize what's going on. TikTok lives, all that kind of stuff. But if you want to get hold of us, mostly our social media or website. Other things is we're all logged into our social media to answer questions straight away. Because some people, like a builder that was referred to me, was by somebody that I'd already helped. He was on a building site, so he reached out through Facebook and said, "Look, can I give him your number?" Blah blah blah. And I said, "Of course you can. Don't not do that." So there's lots of different ways of getting us. The website is probably the best. We've got a mobile number on there as well. So if you don't want to just do it through email, you can WhatsApp message us straight to, and it comes straight to the phone that we've got. So there's lots of different ways or self-refer.
Great. And talking of radio, you were on a local radio station earlier this week or last week, weren't you? Tell us about that. Well, you were talking about something specific, weren't you? Which was your No Man Left Behind initiative.
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to get put in front of the BBC because of the work that Bruce has been doing. They contacted us because he goes into schools and other people's home. He does really well with that. So they reached out on that, and they wanted to find out more about what we do. And our big thing is the No Man Left Behind. So, unfortunately, the system doesn't work for men.
As well,
we work off of almost like the 4 stages of cancer, as Scott. Women will reach out at stage 1, get that early intervention. So once they get put on a waiting list, they've got a bit more time. Whereas we don't reach out until we're at rock bottom. So generally, getting on that waiting list for the NHS is longer to actually get the help, and it's generally too late for a lot of men.
And 98% of middle-aged men between 30 and 50 that have had the confidence or built up the confidence enough to reach out and have committed suicide had already reached out for help, but it wasn't tailored correctly. And what we realized is, and this is the reason why I started the project No Man Left Behind, because like ourselves, we're reaching out, we're telling people, it's okay to talk, and so they're doing it, but the system's not ready for that amount of stuff. So what we, as Open Doors, have done is the No Man Left Behind. So we can show you, even when you come to us, we're not just going to go, yeah, okay, that's fine, and put you into a system. We will tailor and show you and give you the tools. And for men especially, what we've realized is it's empowering them. we've realized young children's mental health is in a certain direction and you deal with it in a certain way. Women's mental health in a certain way, and men's mental health. And it's when you bring it all together, that women can speak to men and men can speak to other men and women, and the bits and pieces, and the children feel safe that they can have these conversations, and it becomes normal. And it does change people's lives. That's why No Man's Left Behind. It's about involving. It's not just about, yes, okay, it's about getting men the support, but without the women helping them, like every woman is either a husband, a brother, a son, you know, there's always a man somewhere in the life, a father, there's always, and it's being able to have the women are probably one of the biggest parts of the No Man Left Behind, because without the women being able to support and guide and even push in the direction, make it comfortable for men to be able to reach out correctly in the right places at the right times and when they need it, rather than waiting, as I call it, stage 4 of cancer, and wait to the crisis point. We'd rather teach them that at stage 1, if you're feeling in a certain direction, and bits and pieces, the help is there, and we can show you.
I would say probably at the moment, 25% of the people that I'm speaking to at the moment are women trying to help their partners.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we speak in different languages when it comes to the mental health.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's a really good point. Yeah.
And be told that it's going to be okay. As men, we want to know how.
Yeah.
Which is the problem. How are we going to fix it?
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great and very, very important point, is that, you know, you mainly deal with men. That is your sort of your niche, if you like. But, you know, there's that whole support network around guys. So you can help women, whatever. You can help other people to help guys. Which leads us on to Monday. So we've got an event on Monday from 6 in Wokingham in Berkshire. If you are local and can make it, so I've done it on purpose to coincide with the school holiday. So hopefully, you know, teenage boys over the age of 13, or teenage lads, don't want to be called boys at 13, do you? But yeah, you know, lads over the age of 13 can come by themselves, with their uncle, with their dad, whatever the case might be. But this isn't just about people helping themselves, because, you know, a lot of people aren't going to walk into the room and say, I need help necessarily. It's look at it as an opportunity to find out the key factors to understand when you might be faced with someone else, either a schoolmate, a colleague, someone at the gym, obviously loved ones around you, if they are dealing with something. So give me it
is about that education, as you're saying. So a number of things that we will go through on the night is things to look out for, common trends, things. So, you know, when your children are doing
safe
something, or your
space,
partner's doing the best thing, you know, you'll understand it and be able to deal with it.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I've labeled Monday as, a safe space for guys to learn, to share, to talk, to, you know, all of those things. So it should be, well, it'll be a great evening. Everyone will get to meet you guys. I will be there just doing meet and greet, and then you just go and do your laddie thing in a private room, which is upstairs at the Rose Inn in Wokingham. And a massive shout out to those guys who were giving us that space for free. So we hugely appreciate that. If it's a success, we'll do more. We might do ones, you know, aimed at people that are definitely the ones that are the helpers, the carers, whatever you want to call them, that are helping people that are going through stuff. But it's just an opportunity, as I say, to get you guys in front of more people, helping as many people as possible, and also taking that stigma away.
There's nothing that will be off the table in the sense of realised. You can ask us anything, because if we're not willing to talk openly and about our experiences and what we've done, how we've got to where we are today, how are we expecting anybody else to? So there's no question that it's off the table.
But presumably it's going to be drugs, alcohol, gambling, all like relationships, all of those factors that might feel really scary to talk about. It's, you know, wide, very wide. And again, there's this, when I met you, Gareth, you only touched on a few of these things, but I was like, my goodness, the amount of people that I talk to in my world of networking and corporate and everything else is so telling of all the different situations that people are going through, either them, and people are really open with I don't know why, I just seem to have this knack of people really opening up to me, and I see that as a massive privilege, but I don't know what to do with them, and I shouldn't necessarily have to do anything with them because it's not my place, but I would love to be able to signpost them to people and experts like you who can. And so this is me trying to do a little bit of good somewhere, but I think Monday is going to be awesome. We will do more, but today was an opportunity to talk virtually to everybody, and we've had a few lovely comments from a few people, which I'll leave on the comments on LinkedIn, and we can go back there. But I didn't expect there to be any questions today because it's not the sort of subject people feel comfortable to ask certain things, but please do reach out to these guys. I'm just going to pop a link to the event on Monday on there. So if anyone wants to grab a ticket, it's obviously free, as I said, and it's on a first come first serve basis. There's plenty of room for plenty of people, but we're hoping, today will be a nice little push to get people there.
Looking forward to it.
Look forward to it. We'll see. And if you can't make the event and you still want to reach out, obviously reach out through our websites, bits and pieces, everything like that. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is always somebody at the end of the phone. You're never alone. Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much. Our time is up. So, I mean, I will leave this so people can watch in their own time. A couple of people that said that they joined late for various reasons. A couple of people saying that they're gutted they can't make work Monday for various reasons. So, it's been an absolute joy to have you on talking about a subject that is, tough to talk about, but we need to take that barrier away and get the stigma away from it as possible. Okay, cool. All right, guys. See you Monday. Have an amazing weekend. And thank you everybody for joining. See you later.
Thank you, guys. See you Monday.